Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to the number 8 video in the Viewer's Choice 2 series. So this is number 8. This is our final one in this series that we had voted on. And it's KWZ Green number 5. A bright green, kind of really nice for this time of year for the holiday. And got a lot to say about it. So let's get started. Let's test it out in the water and see what happens. And then let me show you. This is the last ink review, which was Bungabox Lamont, and you know, it's pretty well gone. You can see a little bit of what's going on there, but nothing much. But you can kind of, I don't know if you could see that coloration where it, you could still see the purple a little, and you could almost read it if you really look at it, but that's about it. So, all right, let's let that do its tricks. And let's get right started with the Rhodia Gold book in my primary ink journal. Let's see. So back and take a look at that final page there. It's always satisfying whenever it completes and all of the little colors are filled in. So there it is. You could see it in comparison to the other two greens. We had a kind of a different shade there with the Monteverde Yosemite green and a bright kind of a Colorverse Supernatural, and now this looks more primary. It looks more like what you'd see in a primary color green to me. And that's my impression. And then of course I had my final notes after I got completely done, and I really found these 8 inks to be a lot of fun. My favorite is still Bungabox Lamont, which is a purple that I just love. That's right here. And then, believe it or not, it was kind of difficult to choose a second favorite, but I have to say it was the J.R. Bond Stormy Gray, because I have a lot of inks in some of these other categories, even the blue, although those were the two that it was between for me for second place. So honorable mention goes to the Robert Oster Soda Pop Blue. I really love that, but I'm satisfied with my Noodler's Navajo Turquoise and some of my other blues. So I wouldn't be actively pursuing a blue like that right now. But let's get right into KWZ Green number 5. I was astonished. I went on to Anderson Pens and found that the price was really good right now. And I don't know if this is just right now. Probably it is. So I would move if I was going to get it. But $1.50 for a 3 ml sample and $9.50 for the 60 ml bottle. That's a really good price for that ink. So here it is on the Tomoy River sample. Let me try to get a little more natural light. Had a heavy shading and lots of little darkness on the edges there. I wrote with it right up through that point with the Serendipity with the broad number 6 nib, the Yowo nib, and then I switched into the medium Jinhao X750 for the bottom part, and I really like it. It's definitely a nice ordinary green, you know, right kind of middle of the road in a way, but there's nothing ordinary about how it writes. It's really nice how this ink flows out of the pens. It's really one of my favorite brands. It's becoming quickly one of my favorite brands, and it's made in Poland. So that was interesting that it was $9.50 for 60 ml. So let's get into I've got 2 more notebooks, as we always do if you're here a lot. This is the Cafe Note by Nanami Paper Company with Tomoy River paper and a 7mm grid, line grid. And on this side is the broad nib, and on this side is the medium nib, and I really like how it looked in both. I didn't have any disappointments at all in how it came through. In fact, this morning I wrote one long pen pal letter with the broad nib and the Serendipity. I did that first, actually, before I even started at my pen desk here, you know, for the review. And it went really well. Hopefully it won't be it was on white Rhodia paper, so I'm hoping it won't be too, you know, like, whoa, too bright. But I think it kind of balanced the way I did the page, and hopefully things are going really well here. And so that's what that looked like. I like how it looked. Let's look in here. This is the Nemesine little notebook that came as a pen goodie and an ink flight. And I'm still working on, well, mostly just here at the house. I don't, darn it, I haven't had time for Instagram. So, but here it is. Here's the ink. And it, in this way that to do it with a paintbrush does show the variation in the ink. I love seeing that in all the inks. I say that all the time because I really like it. This is the Boho Berry Challenge that I'm doing. And everything, including this, was written with the Moonman mini glass nib. It was ready to be dipped, but I was ready to, you know, end, and I didn't want to waste ink, so I let it just fade. You know, I let it taper. And the prompt this time was could have gone better. And I struggled with that prompt a lot. Every day when I journal at night, I kind of review my day. And so I like to I process things as I go along. So what I came out of this prompt with is that I do have a recurring theme of I need to be more direct. So if I have regret or I have things that could have gone better, it's usually because I didn't speak up either to myself or, you know, like have boundaries and better, you know, rules with myself, or speak up and be clear with other folks, you know, and that's how I came out with that one. Okay, let's get right into the paper. Tomoe River paper is first, because it's my favorite paper to write on. And here it is. I thought it just looks super on there. Really, really nice. I wished I'd had the bigger, you know, the big paper today. I would have written to that pen pal with a bigger paper, but I didn't, so I went to the Rhodia, and I did really good with that. But you can see it still holds up so nice in the medium nib. That really looked good to me. Okay, and then in the Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid, green, and very similar from nib to nib. And I don't believe, no, we didn't have any bleed through, because this is not one of their iron galls. This is their standard, I'm sure. So let's move right over to Rhodia. This is the paper I used for a pen pal letter today, not this page, of course. And it came out real nice on there, and I had used some stamps and things on the page, but yeah, sometimes with certain inks, this paper and the Rhodia can feel too dry, but it didn't. It flowed right along, and I had a nice experience writing the, you know, the letter. So there it is. Got lots of letters again to go out tomorrow. Had a whole bunch yesterday too. Here's the Clairefontaine 90 gram French ruled. And there it is. I felt like it was just as comfortable and flowed just as well on the Clairefontaine as it did on the Rhodia. Whoops, I guess that was human error there, because I don't know what happened. Okay, and then Office Depot College ruled paper. As usual, I liked how it looked. It, you know, and for such a inexpensive paper, that was nice. It didn't bleed through. Very good. I like these notebooks because they don't have any holes, binder holes on the side. So those notebooks are nice. Now, let's go ahead, and I've got 4 panels, believe it or not. Each one has our ink of the day labeled with a flag. So that'll help you locate it right away if you're looking. And then we get to compare it to several different inks. Now I'm starting with this one. Oh gosh, this panel is a little bit warped. We're running our furnace, which is very rare here. We hardly have to run it here. It's a gas furnace, and everything gets real dry. So, okay, there it is, and you can see how real green that is. You know, like almost primary green to me. And then the camera may be brightening up just slightly. The one that I really wanted to compare it to was Blackstone Daintree Green, and that is darker. It's quite a bit darker. To me, that delves over into like forest green, which makes sense with the name and everything. Okay, and then here's Lamy Green. Let's see, what else? Some of these are a little bit obscure. Not. Oh, Diamine Sherwood Green, again, which is much more of a foresty kind of, or what I used to call forest green when I was younger. So, a lot of inks to compare it to, but each panel is a little bit unique and has some overlap. So let's go to the next one. In the next one, it's in the left bottom corner. Okay, so there's KWZ Green number 5. And I liked how it compared with this Noodler's Gruen Cactus Eel. I really like this ink. It's caught my attention. And very much so, it's caught my attention. Even though, you know, right now, I'm happy to write with this. It's a seasonal ink for me right now. I think I started with about 10 mils of this KWZ Green, and I'm probably down to about 4. So I actually have written with it a lot, and I like it. Let's see if there's anything different. So, you know, up here, we were starting out on a lime, almost lime green. So then this ink was used as a control ink on this panel. So, but that just gives you a little bit of a glimpse there. And a comparison side by side. All right, I gotta remember I got 2 more. Okay, so here's this one. Now, yeah, we may start to get into too much repetition. Hopefully not, but there it is, the KWZ Green number 5. I don't seem to have anything just like it at all. And you could see my kind of like, I'm really into looking at green, even though green is not one of my favorite colors. It's fast becoming a, you know, like a 4th runner-up. Let's put it that way. And that amazes me because I never would have thought that. But having it side by side with Sherwood Green may help you. And also, well, Daintree Green, which we looked at there. Wow, that red sheen really comes out in that one. But, you know, it just immediately becomes the green on each panel to me that looks the most, you know, like what green it was in school or something, I guess, if that's a way to put it. Okay, here is the last panel. Sorry about this. I hope I'm not making us dizzy. And here it is, right here. And right beside Yosemite Green. And, you know, Lamy Green seems to turn up every time. I'm going to run out of that just by doing that. I only have a little sample of it. Oh, that's so funny. Colorverse Sea of Tranquility. That looks so light on this one. And, you know, then we get into the blue-greens, which are so far off the charts. Let's just probably move on. But I wanted, in case anybody really wanted to see it beside these various inks, I really like this Robert Oster Green Lime, too. That's pretty. Okay, so let's move to the visual journal. And I got a lot of mixed results on this last night. Here are 2 of them. And they did come out really light. And my theory on these is that I must have laid the water down pretty thick, I guess. And then I've got one dark one. Might have been the first one I did. Which, like, if you took that away, I'm super happy with this side. If you just sort of whited out all of that. I like this because it looks like a rainy, foresty sort of fuzzy. And I've seen that same kind of look where you just can't quite focus on the forest if it's raining really hard and it's maybe foggy or something. So I like this one a lot. And then this one looks like a mistake. Most likely I made dots that where it had already dried, and I came in thinking I could fool the system and used a paintbrush to, you know, add water, which was just nuts. I could have sprayed it, which would have then been a little bit different. It looks like I have trees in the sky, but this is what happens with me. I'm so critical of things, and there's no need. Because I love the beauty of how the chromatography came out. You could see blue edging. It's almost hard to believe this is the same ink, right? But it is. I guarantee you it came out of that. But let's put it beside, I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, it is. I'm very careful. Actually, I have a little pot that I put it in, a little round crystal thing that I put the day's ink in. But it was a lot of water, must be. And this one was much more true to, you know, having that dark range and then lighter. So it likes water. It's nice for art. I guess that's the main point. And then over here, kind of, you know, the little sort of palm trees kind of things. And like my friend, when I did take a couple of art classes, you know, she must have wondered about me because I just would not like part of my work. And she'd say, well, what part do you like? And then, you know, let's not mess with the part you like. Let's move over and do something different. So right here is where I don't like it. But I did like the little sort of a hint of some sort of palm trees, or in this case, it looks like a big needle with a pom-pom on the top. So, but these are fun. I mean, they really are, and they're getting me over my, you know, perfectionism thing about art and stuff. So, okay. So, that was it. Which one was your favorite? My goodness, it was hard to pick. Except that it really wasn't hard for me to pick my number one because I have been writing with this Bungabox Lamont for a long time, and I love it. And I knew I loved Robert Oster Soda Pop Blue, but I didn't realize how much J.R. Bond Stormy Gray, being a shimmer ink, I don't know if we can see the shimmer right now. We got good light, but it's, you know, pretty intense. I just didn't expect that one to linger as a tie for second, or, you know, be such a interest to me. But I liked them all. That's the thing. I mean, I distinctly remember I really liked this one, and I loved the Napa Burgundy, and the Colorverse Supernatural. I mean, I just loved them all. So it's nice to have a lot of samples and be able to play with the small amounts and kind of move from ink to ink. So what's next? That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. What is next, basically, in a nutshell, is a lot of neat stuff. Now I get to open my Inkflate box, and I usually share that with you all. Hopefully, you know, you won't mind if I do that to kind of a swatching and share that with you. And then I've got that I showed you yesterday, the Ferris Wheel Press ink, and more ink samples. I had actually, I've created, I mean, this isn't fancy or anything, but I've created this little bin here, and I'm going to label it new, because I like to kind of take my time. I don't like to go ahead and put these new inks right away, categorize them. I want to work with them and see what I've got. Monteverde Sapphire came in as a sample from a pen friend. And I found out, I guess I put a question mark. I didn't recognize this, but I found out it's Sailor Sugar. That's pretty. And then this one, Diamine Imperial Blue. So that was really pretty. And then three that I haven't even gotten to index yet. One is, well, they're J.R. Bond, the Ancre, the little rose, or tender rose. And I can't quite read that. It looks like sapphire. Oh, okay, here's the color. Whoa, oh, goodness, I didn't realize I was doing that to you. Fuzzing things out. I guess it's blue. That helps to see those colors on the side of the bottle. That tells us what's going to be there. And this afternoon, in addition to cleaning my pen desk, because after doing a series of ink reviews, this pen desk is wreckage. I would hate to show it right now. And this looks kind of like a chalky brown, maybe. And then I think I've shown you these, but I'm not sure. So actually they should be in here, so I'm going to put them in here. Maybe I haven't. I don't remember, so I'll do it again. Yeah, I think I did probably. This one here, Koh-i-Noor Zeleny, that's green. And then the Noodler's Blue Nose Bear. Another Koh-i-Noor Document Madri Blue. Hero Carbon Blue. Yeah, I think I showed you these. I mean, this can get confusing for me sometimes, but this is going to help. If all the newcomers stay here while I get them indexed, and then I know that these are ones definitely that haven't been profiled, and also, you know, I'm still working on thank yous and things like that. But I want to say a big thank you for all the pen mail, all the letters, and my goodness, I received pouches, ink samples, pen things, letters, a fountain pen this week. I received a Keiko Retro fountain pen. I'll just give a glimpse. I don't know anything about it yet, except for just a little bit that I saw on a Pen Friends channel, Wasky Squirrel. I'm going to go back, though. See, I have attention trouble, and I'm going to go back and rewatch his video, and I'm going to learn and play with this pen. Thank you so much. And I received some markers. These are gorgeous. These are Tombow markers. And you know, I'm a bullet journalist, so I have an abundance of things to to review and profile and have a good time sharing with you guys too, because that's most of the fun, is not just, you know, working myself at my pen desk, but sharing. So I believe that what will be next is looking into that ink flake box, and then the Ferris wheel press ink will be soon. But I also have a papaya pouch to review. So it's just really like fun. All of it is so much fun. And I've got a birthday this week. I'm going to be turning 55. So we're going to have a little celebration, which means, you know, lots of fun. And I don't go for parties. I'm talking about a road trip with our cameras and a lunch, you know, and hopefully if the weather holds out. So thank you for being here. Thank you very much. And this was a really fun set of inks to review. Thank you for voting way back in the day when we voted. And thank you for watching. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now.